You have tried everything for that injury that will not heal. Rest, physical therapy, anti-inflammatories. Nothing worked. But here is what nobody told you. Your body already knows how to heal. It just forgot the signal. Deep inside you, there are messenger molecules, tiny protein fragments that tell damaged tissue exactly how to rebuild. When you were young, these signals were loud and clear. Now they are fading. The peptides under FDA review are synthetic versions of these signals. They are not drugs that mask symptoms. They are signal restorers, compounds that remind your body how to do what it once did naturally. Think of your body as a construction site that never stops. When you are young, you have plenty of workers, clear blueprints, and a loud foreman shouting orders. As you age or get injured, workers wander off. Blueprints get lost. The foreman's voice fades to a whisper. Peptides are not new workers or new materials. They are megaphones. They amplify the foreman's voice so the workers can hear instructions again. Your body has not lost the ability to heal. It has lost the instructions. These peptides may be the way to get them back. 1. BPC-157, the repair signal. Imagine you tear a tendon, not a complete rupture, but enough to cause pain that lingers for months. You rest, you ice. 6 months later, it still aches. A year later, it is still there. Here is what happened inside. Your body sent repair signals when the injury occurred. Cells migrated to the site. Blood vessels started forming. But somewhere along the way, the signal faded. The construction crew wandered off before the job was finished. BPC-157 is the megaphone that calls them back. This peptide was discovered in human gastric juice. Researchers isolated a 15 amino acid sequence and found it accelerated tissue repair in animals. Rats with severed Achilles tendons healed faster, damaged gut lining regenerated more quickly. The peptide promoted new blood vessel growth and modulated pathways that control inflammation. What made BPC-157 unusual was its systemic effect. Unlike treatments that work only locally, this peptide seemed to help injuries throughout the body, regardless of injection site. The signal broadcast everywhere. People began using it for chronic tendon injuries, joint pain, and gut issues. Online forums filled with testimonials describing recoveries that had eluded conventional treatment for years. But nearly all the research is in rodents. Human clinical trials barely exist. No one can tell you the right dose, the long-term effects, or whether what works in rats actually works in you. Quick checkpoint. BPC-157 is the megaphone for your repair crew. It calls workers to the injury and makes sure supplies arrive. Now let us look at the inflammation side. 2. KPV, the inflammation off switch. Imagine your body responding to a threat. Redness, heat, swelling. Inflammation rushes in to fight damage. That response is supposed to be temporary, but what if the demolition crew never got the message to stop? They keep tearing down tissue even after the threat is gone. That is chronic inflammation. KPV is the megaphone that tells the cleanup crew to go home. This tripeptide consists of only 3 amino acids. It comes from a larger hormone involved in immune response. Researchers discovered that this tiny fragment retained powerful anti-inflammatory properties. KPV works by entering cells and interfering with inflammatory signaling, particularly a protein complex called NF-κB. When NF-κB is activated, it triggers the cascade that causes swelling and tissue damage. KPV calms this response at its source. In laboratory studies, KPV reduced inflammation in gut tissue, making it a candidate for conditions like ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. Users have reported improvements in digestive symptoms and skin conditions. The appeal is targeted anti-inflammatory action without the immune suppression caused by steroids. But like most peptides under review, human clinical data is limited. 3. TB500, the whole body broadcast. Most signals in your body are local. An injury in your knee sends repair signals to your knee. But what if you could broadcast a healing message everywhere at once? TB500 is that broadcast. It is a synthetic version of thymosin beta-4, a protein found in nearly all human cells. This megaphone does not just reach one area. It speaks to workers throughout the entire site. The peptide first gained attention in veterinary medicine. Racehorses recovering from injuries healed dramatically faster. That caught the attention of athletes, then biohackers, then researchers. TB500 promoted cell migration to damaged areas, encouraged new blood vessel growth, and reduced inflammation. Rodent studies showed it could even protect the heart after heart attacks. People began experimenting with it for muscle tears, chronic pain, and injuries that never fully recovered. Faster recovery between workouts. Old injuries finally resolving, but most evidence comes from animals. Some researchers have raised concerns about peptides that promote blood vessel growth. The same mechanism that helps heal tissue could theoretically support tumor growth in someone with undetected cancer. This concern is unproven, but it highlights how much we do not know. Pause for a moment. Notice a pattern? Every peptide so far works by restoring a signal your body already uses. They are amplifiers for instructions your cells already understand. That is what makes this category different from traditional drugs. 4. MOTS-c, the metabolism reset. If you have noticed your energy fading as you age, weight harder to lose, blood sugar harder to control, you are experiencing something happening at the cellular level. Your mitochondria, the power generators in every cell, become less efficient over time. MOTS-c is a megaphone that comes from the power generators themselves. This peptide was discovered in 2015. Unlike other peptides that originate in the nucleus, MOTS-c is encoded by mitochondrial DNA. When obese mice were given MOTS-c, they lost weight, improved blood sugar regulation, and showed enhanced physical performance. The peptide tells your body to burn fat for fuel and keep energy production running like it did when you were younger. What makes MOTS-c particularly interesting is its connection to aging. Levels naturally decrease as you get older. Some researchers theorize that restoring MOTS-c could reverse aspects of metabolic aging. A small human trial showed improved muscle insulin sensitivity without significant side effects, but larger studies are needed. If you are considering MOTS-c, know that you would be among the first wave of human users. 5. Epithalon, the telomere extender. Telomeres are protective caps at the ends of your chromosomes. Each time a cell divides, they get slightly shorter. When they become too short, the cell can no longer divide properly. This is like a construction permit with an expiration date. Once it runs out, the work stops. Epithalon extends the permit. This peptide stimulates the production of telomerase, the enzyme that rebuilds telomeres. In theory, this could allow your cells to continue functioning longer than they otherwise would. Animal studies showed mice living longer than control groups. Russian human studies reported improvements in immune function, sleep, and vitality in elderly patients. Here is the uncomfortable question. If Epithalon boosts telomerase, and cancer cells also have high telomerase activity, could this peptide increase cancer risk? The honest answer is we do not know. No study has proven it does. No study has proven it does not. If you use Epithalon, you are accepting that uncertainty. 6. Semax, the brain amplifier. If you have felt your mind slipping, slower recall, harder focus, mental fog, you know how frightening cognitive decline can be. Semax is a megaphone that speaks directly to your brain's construction crew. This peptide was developed in Russia during the 1980s for cognitive recovery. It has been used clinically for decades to help stroke victims regain function. Semax is administered as a nasal spray, allowing it to reach the brain directly. The peptide increases levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that supports neuron survival and growth. Higher BDNF is associated with improved learning, memory, and mood. Users describe enhanced concentration, reduced anxiety, and faster mental processing. Unlike stimulants, Semax does not cause jitteriness or crashes. The Russian clinical experience provides more human data than most peptides on this list. However, Western regulatory agencies have not approved Semax. Independent replication of Russian studies is limited. 7. Emideltide, the immune trainer. If you get sick more often than you used to or recover more slowly, you are experiencing immunosenescence, the gradual decline of immune function with age. Your thymus gland, which trains immune cells when you are young, shrinks as you get older. Emideltide is a megaphone that broadcasts to your immune system's training facility. This peptide is derived from the thymus gland and aims to restore aspects of youthful immune function. Russian research reported improvements in immune markers, reduced infection rates, and enhanced recovery from illness. Some researchers investigated whether thymic peptides could extend lifespan by maintaining immune surveillance. However, much of this research was published in Russian journals and has not undergone rigorous Western peer review. Emideltide represents a hopeful idea that we can restore what time takes away. Whether it works as promised remains unproven. These 7 peptides share a common thread. You have a problem conventional medicine has not solved, an injury that lingers, inflammation that will not quit, a mind losing its edge, a body aging faster than you want. You have heard about these signal restorers that seem to offer what nothing else can. Each was discovered through legitimate research. Each showed remarkable effects in animal studies. Each attracted a following of people unwilling to wait for approval. And each now sits in regulatory limbo, promising but not proven. The construction site metaphor holds. Your body still has the workers. It still has the blueprints. What it may be missing is the foreman's voice. These peptides are megaphones that might restore that signal, or they might carry risks we do not yet understand. If you choose to use any of them, you are conducting an experiment on yourself, one where the full results will not be known for years. Your body has not lost the ability to heal, to think clearly, to fight infection, to stay young. It may have just lost the instructions. Whether these peptides can restore them is a question science is still trying to answer.